So we got a few people that are here enjoying the whiskey, which is great. I can't believe there's not more of a turnout. I've got like $300 worth of whiskey over here and no one to enjoy it, but that's okay because we're going to have a good time regardless. So, first thing I want to just thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for coming in and enjoying the free booze, and hopefully if I do this quick enough, I'll get you guys fed too. So I had the opportunity this summer to spend a couple of weeks in Ireland, and I got to bring back some really cool recipes and kind of fun tips and tricks. So we're going to kind of move through some of that. And first thing I wanted to show you guys how to do is how to make an Irish coffee at home. So you guys have to have the base ready, right? So we've got coffee, we've got raw sugar, and we've got a little bit of cream. And that in essence is our Irish coffee. So I have just a regular mason jar here. I've run some warm water through it so it's nice and warm, so when we drop the coffee, we don't crack any glass anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this raw sugar in the bottom here. And I'm going to add a little bit of coffee to it. Do you guys drink Irish coffee at home? You keep whiskey in the house? Yeah, right on. Very cool. Help yourself. If you didn't grab some whiskey, please grab some. So I'm going to add a little bit of this hot coffee at the bottom to dissolve the sugar. Just give it a nice little swirl here. We're going to let that kind of sit and let that sugar break up. Got some heavy whipping cream. So the only difference between heavy whipping cream are like half and half. So half and half is literally half whole milk and half heavy whipping cream. So we like the whole whipping cream because it's got all the fat in it, all the good stuff that we enjoy. So I'm just going to whip this up by hand and just have a whisk and a bowl. We're just going to get that fat really excited, and we're going to pour it in here in a minute. So how's the whiskey so far? Which one are you enjoying? The 12 year? For 2 more due? Very good, very good, very good. What are you guys having out in Carlsbad? Or did anybody pick up any whiskey anywhere else to enjoy? No? Maybe I have you guys muted and I can't talk to you. Okay. Sorry, we have all the other GoDaddy sites on right now too, so I can talk to them. So we've added a little bit of body to our heavy cream here. Just a little bit, just enough. Just enough to say that we added some body to it. So
I've got a 21-year Macallan here.
No, you don't. Is that Terry McBain? He's lying through his teeth. I can smell it. So I'm gonna drop just some of this cream. Well, first actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the rest of this coffee in there.
I have 21-year Pappy Van Winkle.
Do you? Are you coming down, right, with some straws later?
Yeah, you can't drink it with a straw.
No. So
the straw will melt.
Straw will melt. So this is a really just quick trick for you guys. So if you take a spoon and you turn it upside down and you drop the cream over it, it'll actually keep the cream from falling to the bottom of the coffee. That would give you a little bit of time to enjoy that. So
that's a great hack.
That's a nice little hack there. So if you don't have a milk frother at home and you want to cheat a little bit and you want it to be fun, that's a really quick way to make a nice Irish coffee for yourself. So anybody interested in one that I just made?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. You'll have to figure out which whiskey you want to drop in there. So one thing you didn't see me do is drop the whiskey in there. So what you would do is you would just drop whatever your favorite whiskey is in that first little pour of coffee, and then you got yourself a nice Irish coffee. The rest of this coffee is for me. Right there. All right, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of the good stuff. Well, the whiskey is the good stuff, but we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of feeding you guys. So this is a really quick recipe to use for a rack of lamb. A lot of people are afraid of a rack of lamb. A lot of people are afraid of lamb. My wife actually, for the first time, just tried lamb the other week, and I was like, if we spent 2 weeks in Ireland, how did you escape having to eat lamb? She did. She doesn't like it, which is really too bad because I love it. How's the Irish coffee? Not bad? All right. Heavy cream's good for you. So what I have here is I have some really beautiful racks. These are New Zealand lamb. You're going to see 3 kinds of lamb that are really for sale here in the U.S. You have a New Zealand lamb, which is going to typically be your smaller, usually more expensive lamb. So you can see these are little guys. And then you have Australian lamb, which is going to be a little bit bigger, a little less expensive than the New Zealand lamb, and a little bit bigger in size. And then you have like domestic lamb. Those are usually raised in Colorado, and they're the biggest, and it's usually the cheapest. We usually go for the New Zealand lamb for flavor. It's a little bit more intense. You get a lot more of the lamminess as you will out of it. So if you guys are looking at it, usually like Costco, they have great sales or whatever. Sprouts, you can order it in. I picked these actually just up from Bashas'. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the meat preparation later, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make a quick herb pesto. This is a great technique that I saw done quite a bit when we were eating in Ireland, which is a great eating destination. I mean, if you guys ever get the chance to get over there and eat, it's the place to be for sure. Hey, that's enough. I'm gonna have to cut you off. That's a lot. That's a lot. So one of the really cool things about foraging in Ireland is that there are so many herbs everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there's chives growing out of a rock somewhere. There's thyme, there's rosemary, there's all this wonderful stuff. So it's great to be able to bring some of this together and to show you guys like how to make it. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of garlic. In Ireland, you find a lot of wild garlic. We don't have so much wild garlic here in Arizona for obvious reasons. We don't grow things that well. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of garlic, and just so you guys can see the technique for smashing garlic. It's really easy. You just pretend you're a chiropractor, take the flat of your knife, and just push. You just crunch it up a little bit there. Maybe for the folks on television, they want to see it too. So we just crack that garlic, and that just opens it up, so we don't have to fight it so much, and it's nice and flat for us to cook with. So from here, I'm just gonna mince this up really fine. Let's get it together. Just make short work of it. The great thing about doing like a forage pesto, as I would kind of call this, is it's really rustic and it's really easy. You don't have to spend a ton of time. You don't have to spend a ton of time trying to figure out what I'm throwing. Whatever you kind of have in your refrigerator, herbs-wise, is going to work. Anything from parsley, rosemary, thyme, anything like that. Even onions and stuff would go well in here. I chose to use chives instead because, again, kind of going with that sort of more authentic Irish. They grow chives everywhere, so. And take that garlic, gonna put it in a little dish that I'm gonna mix everything up in. I have some thyme here as well. Just kind of pluck that thyme, bring it all together. And this I'll throw some rosemary in here as well. I have if you guys can see, I think you can probably see it on the camera. If not, so I have a cast iron skillet. How many of you guys have cast iron at home? You guys use it at all? Do you use it, or is it just kind of there? No, it's just kind of there. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to clean it, right? Like they have it and they're like, oh, this is cool. This is my grandpa's or my grandma's or whatever. Or it was on sale at Walmart, so I bought it because I thought it was cool and everything's all well and good. Cast iron is a really great thing to cook on. Obviously, it adds iron to your food when you eat, so you have a little bit of added nutritional. And $60 or whatever on a nice pan, you're gonna hand that down to your grandkids easy. So. We'll talk about cleaning cast iron here in a second. So I have a little bit of thyme put together. I'm just gonna run my knife just really quick. Like I said, guys, I just want this to be like super simple for you. I want you to be able to like go to the store, pick up a few things, and make this tonight for your wives. I say wives because I have nothing but gentlemen in the house right now. It's whiskey, so I didn't get the normal pull that I do. So we have all of our thyme in there. We have our garlic. I have a little bit of mint. There's actually a great amount of wild mint and spearmint that grows randomly in different places in Ireland. We spent time on the Atlantic coast, which is a great place to be. A lot of tourism, which I was really surprised. So that was really wonderful. And there's just a lot of things growing, and there's a lot of chefs. It's a place where we stayed is quite a bit of a foodie town, so we were able to eat a lot. With this mint, I like to take it and I like to roll it and bruise it. So what that does is it releases the essential oils that are in the mint. And because it doesn't need to be pretty, we're just gonna julienne it really fine here. Mint also has a really terrible texture. You guys ever put a whole mint leaf in your mouth and it feels like sandpaper? So it's really nice to use as an aromatic, and it's really terrible to feel on your tongue because it does not feel nice. So I'm gonna throw that in here as well. See, I'm kind of making a bit of a mess. Garlic's sticky. I also have some chives. So chives are going to make up that onion flavor, sort of the body of our pesto. So I'm just going to chop these up really fine, just like we kind of do everything else. Someone else here? We got a new one. There we go. Make them weak. Get them some whiskey. Who is it? Oh, there we go. There he is. I got some whiskey over here for you if you're interested. Yeah, that's another reason why you're here. Look at this guy. All right. Very good. So yeah, help yourself. Please. Grab some whiskey. Everyone else is too. We're way past. You need to catch up. All right. So we have the majority of our herbs all thrown in here. I got one last one. I got a little bit of rosemary. I like to take that rosemary, hold it at the top just like that, pull it down, and then give it a good rough chop here. Check out my cast iron to make sure it's not too hot. So we're gonna sear this lamb up in the cast iron and sear it. We'll get to that in a second. I get ahead of myself sometimes. A little bit of rosemary in there. So you guys can see I just have like this little like compilation of like a little herb salad kind of going on in here. I'm just gonna drop a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in and kind of just give it a stir with one of my rosemary sprigs. That way I'm not doing too many dishes. One of the things about cooking at home for me is my wife follows me around like constantly, like cleaning up after me, so it makes it really uncomfortable for me to cook at home because I'm just used to having my big industrial dishwasher here, and a guy can just be like, "Hey," and they come over and they clean up after me, so it doesn't really work that way at home, unfortunately. Yeah, hey, they come over. Usually not. So we got our pestos kind of hanging out. One of the great things about this is you can make it ahead of time, or if you don't have it ahead of time, you can make it while you're waiting for your cast iron skillet to heat up. So we got that all squared away. We're enjoying our Irish coffee still. I'm going to take a little bit. Can you guys see me over here okay? Yeah? Great. So I have a little bit of that oil that I used to make my pesto. I'm just going to drop that in the pan, just really lightly. I just want to give that oil a chance to heat up. You never want to cook in a cold pan. I see so many people like they throw the pan on like this, then they throw their meat in, and they're like, well, it's not cooking. My meat looks great. It doesn't look like caramelized and beautiful. That's because you're being impatient. You need to, and if you think ahead of a lot of this stuff, you can see how this how it's already hot, it's already smoking. So that's good. And this pan is super hot, and you can see too the flame on here isn't super high. So we're all squared away up here. So I'm gonna get down just a little bit. So I have this lamb. Beautiful, beautiful lamb here. You guys can take a look. So like I said, this is New Zealand lamb. They're going to be smaller. What I did earlier is I took this fat flap that usually comes all the way up here on the bone, and I cut it down, and then I cleaned all of these bones. That's a technique called Frenching. You don't have to do that, but it's just kind of a nice way to present it. And also, these are so small, and since we have a group of guys here today, you'll be able to just pick this up and eat it instead of having to use a fork and knife, right? So we're going to take some of this. I've got some kosher salt here. I'm just going to hit these with a little bit of kosher salt before it goes into the pan on both sides. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys the technique on this one. And I'm gonna cook the rest of these up for the rest of you. Really quick. Industrial kitchen style, not home cooked style. So I have my rack of lamb. I'm gonna go fat cap first. We want to sear that in. Also, always have a towel handy for cast iron because they're not made user friendly. So we're gonna take our rack of lamb fat side down like this. So that's a nice hot pan already. It's already sizzling. It's already giving us some action. It's talking to us. That's what we always want to hear when we're using a pan like that. So what that is, and a lot of people always wonder, like, what is that sound? So the sound actually is the water that's inside the meat, inside the fat, is being released. It's the same thing that happens when you burn firewood. When you're burning firewood, you hear the snap, crackle, and pop, and it's steaming. That's literally moisture leaving the wood or leaving the fat. That's kind of a fun piece of knowledge there for you. I'm gonna let this kind of sit. You guys have any questions for me so far? It's pretty chill. Whiskey kind of does that. Whiskey takes all the questions away. So actually, I haven't had any whiskey, and that's one of the perks of my job is I can have whatever I want. Oh, the writer's chair. Yeah. And just make sure that you guys want to stop by at Total Wine or where we picked all these up. Take one of those at handouts with you. Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah. Those are mine after you're gone. It's my bonus. So one of the things is like you don't want to start messing with this. You want to give the fat on there time to kind of caramelize and cook all the way through. Also, we're going to be cooking our lamb medium rare, so we don't really need to. It doesn't need to be in here for very long. If you want your lamb more well done, or if someone in your family wants your lamb more well done, which typically they do, what I would suggest is turning the oven on to 350 degrees, searing it nice like this, and then whacking it in the oven for a few minutes. So what we don't want to do is play with this too much, but I do want to take a quick look. So, and with the bone too, I usually will typically use my hand to cook with. It's probably not the best way to do it, but that's kind of what I'm used to. So, have any of you guys had the chance to travel to Ireland or visit or be tourists? No, it's definitely. I would definitely recommend it. It's an inexpensive flight. It's a great place to be. They love Americans, unlike most places in the world that we go to. We're told that we're not liked so much, so they really embrace us. The next part of this, to show you guys this technique, I know it's kind of hard with the camera angle here, is right before. Let's do this. heat an active flame anymore. This cast iron's hot enough, I can turn this off if I wanted to. Oh no, you're good. You're good. They're good. So what I'm gonna do is this really quick is I'm gonna grab the bones here. And I'm gonna really slowly lift this up. I'm gonna sear that edge, but otherwise I couldn't. Definitely something you want to wear an apron or a shirt here for those of us that have glasses. Usually I take my glasses off, right? So this is, you can get a little bit messy in your house or whatever. The great thing about cast iron is you can take a piece of cast iron like this and throw it on your grill outside and get it hot and do this outside so you're not making a mess. That's what I would recommend. So I unfortunately have a flat and I don't have a place where I can have a grill, so let's kind of roll that over. You see it doesn't take very long to caramelize that bottom there. So I'm going to turn this over. And the other side, it's not going to like get cooked all the way through. And it might seem like, oh my God, it's not cooked. They're perfectly cooked. I'm not going to get you guys sick. The nice thing about lamb too, the way it's designed, is if you want, you can bring it and you can rest it right along the side of the cast iron if you want to cook that other side a little bit more evenly. Or another great technique is we start on the other side, we flip it over, put the heart sear, and you can baste it if you're using something like butter. That's a little bit more elevated technique. And I want you guys to be able to walk away with something. So, that cast iron nice and hot. Let this lamb kind of sit here and sear up. And we're more or less ready. My friend Jackie is going to grab me a couple of plates, and I'm going to get this all plated up for you guys. They're hiding in there, like it's the green room. It's 6 little elves hiding. Where's my whiskey? So I think we've tried. I think everyone's got a little bit of everything. Right? Have you guys tried any of these before? Are you trying something new today? Yeah, right. Once or twice today. Which one? And you had the. Thank you. Oh, nice. Very good. Cool. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, have you ever tried that before? Right here? No. And it's a fairly inexpensive bottle. I mean, depending on where you get it, it ranges between like 28 and 35 bucks. The thing that I love about Irish whiskey is that there's such a heritage of Irish whiskey that you can really get some really great whiskey for like $20. One of the more budget friendly ones that I like is one called Wolfhound, Irish Wolfhound. It's like a $19 or $18 bottle, and it's great. If you just like to sip and have something easy, Wolfhound is one of the better whiskeys, I think. Yeah, you had it. You guys had it? No. Yeah, Wolfhound is great. It's got really great hints of vanilla. It has really muted spice. It's got a great depth to it. It finishes like caramel. It's really fun. So the other thing is too with when we cook at home, a lot of times, if you're just a home cook, you don't think about making sauces so much. So the great thing about doing stuff like this is this isn't really a sauce, it's a dressing. So you don't have to worry about making a perfect viscosity or boiling cream or doing all this stuff. You can just get all this stuff together, and then after everything is cooked, you just use salt. What do you think? We're about there. You can always check it. It's a little bit longer, but not much. The great thing about using a dressing is you're not worried about like, okay, is the sauce perfect, it's whatever, because you're literally just making a little salad of herbs and adding some oil to it. The next step to doing something like this would be add a little red wine vinegar or something like that just to give it a different taste. Don't worry, we'll get you fat. I know you guys are on time. You guys are good. Okay, right on. There you go. Now I am. We're done now. Yeah, we're done now. Hey, you guys are welcome to hang out. Okay, and I have more lamb that I'll cook up. So, yeah, just being able to make those dressings, for yourself, it just really takes your food to the next level. And it's really, thanks, guys. Takes your food to the next level, and you kind of have like that professional edge when you're cooking at home or cooking something special. Definitely a good way to go. Do we have any questions from the ether out there? Any questions, comments, concerns about what you see going on? I usually get a ton of emails afterwards, so I try to email them.
No, I wouldn't. I'm muted.
Hello? ways you guys can tell if meat is done. I'm sure
You have to ask a question.
is feeling it. Like a lot of guys here, especially with the steak more so. If you are, if you're checking it by touching it instead of using a thermometer, which is totally great, especially if, like me, like I've worked in steakhouses before where like you don't have time to grab a thermometer and temp everything. Also, when a guy is paying a hard time over a steak, he doesn't want to see that you know, violated it. So, try to stay away from that. You want to feel it. So, one of the great techniques is if you have something that is that's rare. You can open your hand like this, feel this part of your hand right here, and that'll tell you that's what rare feels like. And as you close your fingers, you go further well. So this is going to be more like a medium rare. It's going to be more of a medium right here, medium well, and then well done. So this tightens this little part of your hand. Yeah, the firmer it is, the more well done it is. Yeah. So and that's usually a good kind of rule of thumb. What's that? Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, that's so you'll see something like at first I thought it was like a Rain Man tick when I started working with these guys. They were doing this all the time. And I was like, what is that? And then I learned, and it's a technique I've used every time. We're gonna pull this lamb out. I think it looks pretty good. Does that look pretty good? Yeah. Go ahead. Someone's happy. That's cool. Hook your sister up, man. Yeah, we do this about once a month if you guys are interested. Yeah, and for you guys out there, if you want to shoot Jackie an email, V_JNYE an email, we can get you hooked up with our mailing address, or give us your email address. We can get you hooked up with a newsletter, recipes, and we do all kinds of fun things. We're just gonna keep cooking. I got a bunch of lamb. All right, so I have the lamb over here on my cutting board, all the way cooked, and I'm gonna keep talking to you guys for a couple minutes because what I want this lamb to do is kind of rest. And I'm sure if you guys watch cooking shows, you hear them talk about that. I know a lot of us don't have the patience or self-control to let the meat rest, so I try to find something else to do for like 5, 6. Easy, Jackie. Easy. Mark's drinking pretty heavily today. She's got to watch me for an hour, so that's rough. What's that? Yeah, so like one of the most classic ones is to take some Dijon mustard, if you like Dijon mustard, and then after you've seared it like this, is you smear it with the Dijon mustard, you let it rest. You would take your lamb here. You can see this like really beautiful fat pad. You would take a knife and you would score the fat. So you would go this direction and then you would make a cross pattern on it. What that does, it opens up the fat caps to the flesh. So after you sear it, you would just spread a little bit of that mustard in the one, and you can do that mustard however you want. Some people put horseradish in it, and it's a little strange. You can throw fresh thyme, crushed black pepper, like whatever you want in that mustard. And that's a very typical classic sort of way to do it, other than like a mint jelly or what have you, which is probably the most classic, I think. I made a lot of lamb dishes. Like, well, where's the mint? There is no mint. Like, how is there no mint? You can have lamb other ways, I promise. So we've kind of let this rest. This is going to be a little bit more well done. But the great way after you've already Frenched this thing all up like this is you can literally just take your knife and go down each bone. And if you meet any resistance, you can just kind of find where the knuckle is in there and just break right through it most of the time. So again, if you guys want it just like a little bit more well done than what it is, you can easily just throw it in the oven, 350 degrees for a few minutes, and that's a really easy way instead of having to keep it on the cast iron skillet. So these are pretty much exactly the way I would want to see them. They're a really beautiful medium rare. And if for some of you guys, if they're a little too rare, you can just let me know and I can throw it back on. That's no problem. What's that? Too rare? No, never too rare. So remember when we're searing out the lamb, kind of forget about it. Like you want to give it a solid like 120 seconds on its own over there. Just give it a little independence and let it kind of figure out who he is for a while before he chomps down on it. This is kind of small things to do, so it's that. So I'll dress these for you guys. Did you say you want a little bit more of a well done piece? No, you're good either way? Okay. Gonna hit this a little bit more kosher salt. I always recommend using kosher salt because I can feel it when I'm seasoning, you know, like Salt Bae. So want to make sure that I can feel it when I'm seasoning it. You guys want to come and grab your lamb? So we can use that. I made a little bit more.
Thank you.
Yeah. You want a little sauce here?
Yeah.
Great. Just a little, just
Appreciate
a touch.
it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for coming down. Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll have some more. I'll have some more for you guys later. Good. Everything's okay? You guys are all good? You want a piece over there? You're okay? Yeah, I can make you a well done piece. You got an extra piece right here. Yeah, that's no work. I'm gonna go grab a set of tongs. Right back. Yeah, I got the full one right here if you want it. It's more bones than flesh, but you want a little sauce? Oh, please. Yeah. A little salt. Thank you. All right, guys out there in TV land, thanks for stopping by. Please email us with your questions. We'll have recipes and stuff out to you soon. So thanks for joining us. I'm going to keep eating and drinking with this lot here. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we appreciate you guys being here. So thanks so much.